Sawadee krap. Good evening and welcome to Sunday, July the 2nd, 2023's edition of Sunday in Thailand, a weekly news roundup in English for global audience all the way from Bangkok, Thailand with me, Vaharin Sachadeo, your host. We would also like to welcome you to the month of July, a month full of several important days. Well, today, Sunday, July the 2nd, is in fact the World UFO Day. The first World UFO Day was celebrated in 2001 to spread awareness to keep watching for unidentified flying objects. The 4th of July resonates around the world as the United States of America celebrates its Independence Day. Here in Thailand, the 4th of July will be a very suspenseful day this year as the Thai Parliament will elect the Speaker of the House, the title desired and fought over by two parties with majority votes, namely Pheu Thai and Move Forward. It's been clearly understood that Pitha Limcharoenrat is a Prime Minister candidate of Move Forward Party and he will soon be nominated for the title in the parliament. But despite effort made by Pheu Thai and Move Forward to form a coalition, there are issues that both parties have not been able to settle. They both want to have the Speaker of the House being one of their own. Move Forward has been firm, feisty, and sometimes fierce to capitalize on both the Prime Minister and the Speaker of the House. But their votes alone are not enough. Having agreed to join forces in the parliamentary proceeding, Pheu Thai and Move Forward came up with a distribution formula of 14+1 to be used with both parties. Now, what does 14+1 mean? 14 means 14 ministerial positions. However, +1 for Pheu Thai means the Speaker of the House, while +1 for Move Forward means Prime Minister. The leaders and members of both parties have spoken on several occasions in the past week, but the messages delivered by Pheu Thai and Move Forward did not seem to be consistent. Originally, they were supposed to sit down and finalize ministerial quota for each party, but the dispute over who will be the Speaker of the House has interrupted the negotiation. Rumor has it that Pheu Thai may agree to give the position of the Speaker of the House to Move Forward Party under the condition that if Pitha does not get enough votes to be elected Prime Minister, Pheu Thai will take the liberty to form a government and nominate its Prime Minister. Political analysts have sketched all kinds of game plans. Knowing full well that Pitha has to deal with allegations, Pheu Thai must have had alternative routes in store. But for Move Forward Party to have their own cake and eat it sounds optimistic but unlikely. So on the 4th of July, this year, in Thailand, all eyes will be staring at the Parliamentary Assembly, watching without a blink how the game is played. On July the 3rd, this coming Monday at 5 a.m., by the way, His Majesty the King is scheduled to preside over the official opening of the new parliamentary session at the Parliament building. Now, please note that this does not mean the King has power over politics or Parliament. The opening ceremony is an auspicious occasion. For the King to perform the ritual is to bring good blessings for parliamentary members and consequently good luck for the country. Now, joining me soon will be Kun Pat Sang Tham, the co-editor of Sunday in Thailand and the editor-in-chief of benchmarkmedia.asia. But before that, we would like you to take a look at this get-together organized by Thai Fulbright Association in order to provide an opportunity for Ambassador Robert Godek, U.S. Ambassador to the Kingdom of Thailand, to mingle and to network with TFA alums or the Fulbrighters, the Fulbright alum, and also the Thailand United States Alumni Association members or TUSA alums. Let's take a look. Sundowner Cruise provides an opportunity for U.S. Ambassador to the Kingdom of Thailand, His Excellency Mr. Robert Godek, to mingle with the Thai Fulbrighters and enjoy the beauty of Bangkok from the Chao Phraya River. As the city, the capital, turned 241 this past April 21st. And joining me now once again is Kun Pat Sangtham, the editor-in-chief of benchmarkmedia.asia and also co-editor of Thailand Morning Call, our Thai news show on Nomad Media Thailand channel. Kun Pat, welcome to the month of July. Exciting month for you indeed, I suppose.
Thank you for having me back in July.
Yes. Well, today is the 2nd of July, and in 2 days' time, will be a very important day for the US citizens, the 4th of July, and also for Thai citizens, the day where we will have a clearer picture on who will become the next House Speaker. Why is this title so important and so much after by the two major parties?
Well, the power and the influence of the Speaker of the House of Parliament is not limited to only at the parliamentary sessions only, because he's the one to not only control the order of each meeting, but also he has the right and authority to review proposals and topics or whatsoever that would come up. And so if any party at all has the quota for this seat, they will be able to push certain laws, amendment, or proposals into the parliamentary session. And that's why powerful parties who expect to be the leading power of the government will want to have this seat.
Mm-hmm. Especially, there have been lots of critics about moving forward. Party wanted to push for Article 112 to be discussed in the parliament, once they're in the power. So maybe that's one of the reasons they wanted the seat to be able to push this amendment easily.
Certainly, because in the past, during, the last government, while Mr. Chuan Lik Pai was the Speaker of the House, Gao Kai, at that time under the name of Anakot Mai Party, proposed the amendment of Section 112 into the parliamentary session, and the Speaker of the House, Mr. Chuan Lik Pai, reviewed that proposal, and he found that it was not completed in certain points. So he turned it back and asked them to review it and rewrite it, but they did not do that. And so they kept saying that the amendment of Section 112 was turned down by the parliament. In fact, the parliament did not turn it down, but the Speaker of the House recommended that they reviewed it in detail, and there were certain points that the Speaker of the House show that it was not complete or logical and things like that. And so I'm sure that Section 112 is one of the motivation that they need to have this seat as
Mhm.
the Speaker of the House of Parliament.
Mhm. What's in it for Pheu Thai Party then for the House Speaker title?
Well, like I said before, Pheu Thai Party is a veteran group of politicians, maybe under different names at different times in the history of Thai politics, but these are experienced politicians, and many of them have worked and held positions, important positions in governments before. And so they had to put together a very clear picture how the system worked. And they certainly wanted to have the certain influence
Mm,
in running the country, not
mm,
only running the government. And
mm,
so, when they review the profile of
mm.
politicians in the Move Forward Party, maybe it's hard to swallow. And, for a lot of people who did not support Move Forward Party, the move that they were making, the move that Pita has been making, perhaps Sinatra would say it best, they have bitten more than they could chew.
Interesting. So for the outgoing government, we have Kun Chuan Lik Pai as the House Speaker, and he did not come from the party that won the most seats from the previous election. But there were debates a few weeks ago about especially after the election, that the parties that won the most seats should be entitled for both the House Speaker and the prime ministerial seats.
Well, that's an understanding, but it's not the rule of parliamentary
Mm,
session or procedure
mm,
because it goes by the vote. In the parliament, the position of the House Speaker comes from the vote. Whoever gets the most vote will win that title. And so the case of Mr. Chuan Lik Pai, who became the Speaker of the House in 2019, was an exception. They kept saying before that. So why before that? So there needs to be a consistency in logic using. If you're going to use the logic, you have to include what happened in 2019
mm,
when Mr. Chuan, who didn't come from the party with the largest vote, became the Speaker of the House.
mm. Interesting. And what about the prime minister's title? Are we clear this week who will be the next Thai prime minister?
The title of the prime minister, the quota for the prime minister has not been in dispute for several days or maybe 2 weeks because Pheu Thai Party made it very clear early on that they would support the nomination of Mr. Pita as the prime minister because they realized very well what was in store for Mr. Pita in terms of allegations and other legal issues. So they would let that uh, go on by the uh, procedure of the parliamentary session, but then they have already mentioned that in case that Mr. Pita didn't get enough vote to become the prime minister, even though he was the prime minister candidate from Move Forward Party, Pheu Thai Party reserved the right to nominate their own. Okay.
Mm,
But that's not the end of the speculation because, as we discussed a week before, that the candidates for Pheu Thai party might not be appealing to the large majority or the people from other political parties. So they would nominate someone from a party with a smaller vote. So there's a possibility.
Mhm. Well, yet to be seen. We'll have more to discuss again next Sunday, I suppose. So that's it for today's edition of Sunday in Thailand. Thank you so much for your comments and remarks. We look forward to seeing you back next Sunday, Sunday in Thailand. I'm Varin Sachideo together with Kun Pat Sangkam. We are both signing off. Thank you for watching. Swadee krap.
Thank you.